one that they almost signed to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me.
Oh.
Then when I heard what was happening, it was remain 2 persons to sign. That was me, that was Bani, Jim Bani. Now when I went to Kun, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents, legal documents, to guide where. Then Burger benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011 because he was not wrong with them.
You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving about for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of woman, then he wants to persecute us. He got going to persecute us. So what is going on with Kun? Then Kun said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Your partner and go look for lawyer. So from Kun offered, my own son offered that I went and sign a resolution. I'm not telling them why you did this. You know what they told me?
No.
Resolution is not a law. So starting the resolution, I mean, we agree. Bring it now. When Burger send a bill, they will not put all the law they put in now and back it.
I called you Rescue One. Do you think I really believe that at 80 years old you would be able to rescue this country? We embellished it. You know, when you are a sales representative, when you are a salesperson, you're selling a commodity or a product, your job is to embellish that product. They say, Fantin woman can say, oh, fish or bony ratting. Did you think I knew, or did you think I mistook you for a rescuer? An old man who belongs to the dustbin of our history with a cake view, a man who cannot even operate a laptop computer? No, we settled. We made a compromise on you. That's what we did. We settled. We compromised. And we believed you were a good man, and we were sympathetic towards you. We in All Liberian Party. And after we saw you and touted you about and projected you as though you could rescue this country, and we called you Rescue One. How could you rescue the country when you could not even rescue your own finances? 12 years as vice president, we had to be begging for money all over the place, raising money to sustain you. What contacts did you establish as vice president? What? It shows today. Everyone can see your campaign. It's a dysfunctional juggernaut led by people who have bought into this hype which we created, hype which we are sucking the life out of now. We will suck the life out of you. Knock the wind out of your sail. The wind we put in your sail will take it back. How dare you call us insignificant when you were in political nobody after 2017 and we resurrected that dead political carcass of yours. You show us ingratitude and wickedness. Where are you? Our falling out with George Weah. We did. Fundamental. The issues about which we disagree with George Weah are still issues that we are concerned about. But we're not here to give you power so that you turn it over to Jeremiah Kun and Prince Johnson. Jeremiah Kun is a Liberian citizen. If he wishes to run for president, it is his right to run for president. But to hide behind you, he and his warlord, his mass murdering, lunatical, deranged, unstable warlord got dollars to the JMB Foundation for some initiatives, making it sound all decent and professional. I said, well, Uncle, let me think about it and I'll refer to you. To be honest with you folks, I never asked Mr. Cummings. You had just eaten the man's 45,000 US for a trip you had no interest in. Now you're asking me to go back to Alex Cummings through his people and make a request for $300,000. Then he said, you know, he might be inclined to give us the money because he wants something from me. So this is the honest man. This is the honest Joe Burger. The Joseph Burger that is supposed to be a decent, honorable man is asking me to go to Alex Cummings under the pretext of being inclined to grant Cummings' request for him, Joe Burger, to recuse himself from the political race and raise Cummings' hand. So he wanted me to go now to Cummings to go and get another $300,000 from Alex Cummings. I never did. I never delivered that message to Alex Cummings because I knew Joe Burger was dishonest. How dare I go ask him for $300,000 to give to Joe Boakai when Boakai had just made a fund of promising Ghana? And meeting companies giving money for. And these are things that we will not come to the
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Oh, what a pleasant way to welcome all of you, our dear people, to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Khan Oliver Kine. Princess Alexa Vanja Cody is pretty seated here on the platform. She and I will jointly bring you the Tuesday's edition of the show on today, with a lot of issues going on in the Republic of Liberia. A resident of Nimba County, Ganta City to be exact, was discovered dead today in Ganta, Nimba County, with several concerns being raised by residents of that northern part of Liberia. Fingers being pointed out, a lot of people having reservation over the mysterious death of the motorcyclist. It has been reported by some news papers, some media institutions, that the victim, the deceased motorcyclist, used to work for the current vice president. We're hoping to deep deeper into that situation. What is it from the angle of the Liberian National Police? What do we know from Nimba County? Or what are the local authorities in Nimba County saying? We're hoping to speak with some of the folks in Nimba County if they need be, if we have the opportunity to reach out to them. But again, no Liberian whatsoever. No Liberian should have any reason to take the life of another Liberian. No citizen, as a matter of fact. No human being in the bailiwick of the Republic of Liberia should end the life of another person unjustly. If not in self-defense, from a very, 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 very strategic angle, there should be no reason why somebody will automatically kill another person. And so we're going to be hoping that the Liberian government under His Excellency Joseph Yoman Boakai will look into the situation involving that mysterious death in Ganta City, Nimba County. On today, we continue to look into the issues making news in the country, with the Students' Unification Party there at the state-run University of Liberia's campus, the main campus, informing the Liberian people that they will form merger with any group of people who will be calling for a protest to be held against the current Liberian government. What is SUP saying? What is SOUP intention? What are the guys trying to do? What do they have under their sleeves? Is there the decision to come out to protest against this current administration very genuine? Is the decision independent? Is it not being politically motivated? All of these technical questions will be asked when we do the analysis around the upcoming protest action that Liberia is supposed to be engulfed with. We are told it is going to be organized by a civil society organization called STAND. STAND is being presided over by the former chairman of the CDC and currently no political party attachment. Mobake Malu is the head of STAND. He is organizing the Yana Boys, the pimping riders. We call them the cyclists in the country, the motorcyclists, and all those who have been victimized by some of the governmental decisions of this administration are going to be part of the protest. What do they intend to achieve? What are the protesters intending to achieve when they stage their series of protest actions, as they are planning? All of that, like Alessa and I started yesterday, will be dealt with on today's edition, right here on 87.9. Too many things happening in the country. And so with these two beautiful topics, these two beautiful things about the country, we will intend to take a break. We take words from our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia, the official sponsor of this platform. And subsequently, when that is done, we're going to be running into the issues making the news in the Republic of Liberia. Let's take a break. To be right back.
It's about music. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, you report it. Don't take law in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take your law. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must talk it. I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper.
Okay, Crime Stoppers, the people bringing safety to your door. Our institution is always advocating against mob violence in the country. Alexa, good afternoon and welcome, my dear.
Good afternoon, Oliver, and I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. However, where you're joining us, we'd like to say welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM. We have a lot to talk about today. There are a couple of different issues in Liberia now, and I think one of the most trendy issues is basically what happens in Nema County earlier today. We're going to talk about that as well. As you all know, we have been discussing mysterious deaths in Liberia for a couple of weeks or over the time past. And I think this is one of the ones that a lot of people are concerned about, given the circumstances surrounding exactly what happened and how the dead body was found. So we're going to talk about that as well. And we have other issues to talk about. I think we saw a dramatic status from the executive mansion today
Mhm.
regarding our president and a meeting, held between him and another person, which is really dramatic. We're going to talk about that a lot. We're going to give you exactly what we think of that issue. Also, there's another one at the Liberia Revenue Authority. We're going to read a story from Page Africa, and we're going to tell you what we make of exactly the report or the story from Front Page Africa. Also, I would like to use this time to congratulate my boss, Kai Oliver Kai. As you are seeing Kai Oliver Kai now, he has assumed the role of general manager at Freedom Communications Incorporated. So I would like to say congrats to you, and I wish you all the best, all the best, all the best. I trust in your abilities, and I know you're going to deliver. I'm the special assistant for the record. I'm the special assistant to, our now general manager,
So you're-
Freedom
so you-
Communications Incorporated.
So you're appointing yourself.
Yes, I have to. But I would like to say welcome.
I hope the CEO is listening. Councillor Sanya, I hope she's listening. And I might as well complain you to the board chairman, the chairman of the board, Omen Sanya.
I mean, without even a word,
you should not
you
be
already know.
you should not be appointing yourself. I mean, it is against. You want to violate my first 100 days?
Sorry, sir.
But again, I'm grateful, and let me say thanks to you, Alexa. You're administrative assistant, not special assistant. I mean, I hate to call people special assistant.
Definitely give me my
Yeah,
serious.
so you are AA instead of
I'm an
SA
administrative assistant.
Simple, yeah.
An administrative assistant.
So thank you. But first and foremost, I want to say thanks to the chairman of the board of Freedom Communications Incorporated, Omen Samsayan. He's no longer the chief executive officer. The chairman of the board is way bigger than the CEO, and the CEO is bigger than the manager. Then down the line until you reach the KOK. Now, so I'm very speechless in recognizing the support from the board chair, the CEO, Man of Zion, Councillor Zion. The lawyers say don't call them without mentioning their legal portfolio. So Councillor Zion, Omen Zion, they've been very, very supportive. We're grateful for the preferment. We are grateful to be selected amongst deserving equals. Every single person here is good enough to be first amongst equal, and to have that singular privilege of being preferred by the owners of our private entity says a lot, and we are grateful. We appreciate this particular opportunity given to us, and we can only but hope and pray that our elevation is going to be in the interest of moving freedom forward, in the interest of all of our people, the radio station, the staff, you, the followers, that you will receive quality information, independent information. Yeah, freedom is going to be freedom. We will remain on the top there, where we're supposed to be. We'll go further. Our job with the team of competent broadcaster, technical folks here, the rest of our people, an able team, the team comprises of a lot of veteran media practitioners. Lawrence Kwawa, is a veteran media practitioner. We even have the Terminator himself, Wendell Neiman. I don't want to mention Austin Kawa, who has been through the rank and files of the media activities, and the rest of the guys, Abu and so forth. So, where is DJ Hero? So Hero is one.
He's telling me not to take his job.
Yeah. So DJ Hero is one important person standing down where, I mean, they bring in the technical room here, Christopher Sapu, Crispo is one workaholic individual. Those security guys. I mean, the rest of the team members, Ruth, Cito Morris, and I may not be able to call everybody at the moment because, yeah, but every single individual here, it is a privilege, and we are hoping that at the end of the day, this team is going to be as big as whatever is going to be, very productive, and we will do what we can do for the people of our country. But all glory to God, and all thanks and appreciation to our board chair and the CEO and the rest of the staff member here at Freedom Radio Liberia. 100 days, I do not have 100 days.
Thank God.
Yeah, I do not have 100 days. I'm not going to tell you in 100 days time, no music will heat on the radio station. I'm not. What are you laughing for? Stop it. No, stop.
No 100-day flower.
No, I'm not going to tell you in 100 days no music will do a heat on the radio station. I'm not going to do so. I mean, trust me, I'm not going to say so. But what I think I know is that with the help of every single individual here at this entity, with the guidance I'm going to be getting from my big brothers who are here and the rest of the staff members, we are hoping, by the grace of God, with determination and hard work, dedication, it is a very strong position we are going to be standing in. It requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of innovative thinking, a lot of cooperation, networking, and so it's going to be a whole package. And we are hoping that with the divine intervention of the Most High, a lot can happen. So yeah, so the first appointment we have made so far is Alexa, who happens to be the administrative assistant to the office of the general manager.
Okay.
What do we have on the plate to talk politics?
Okay.
Mhm.
So this report was done 6 hours ago.
Okay.
And I think for those of you on the social media, specifically Facebook, you watched a lot of different angles of this news from Nema County earlier this morning. And it's about a mysterious death of, a person, a man, in Nema County. And this morning, everyone had a lot to say about it. A lot of people were shocked because it is really mysterious. And sometimes when mysterious things happen, Oliver, you're really speechless. You don't know how to even react. So we're going to read this story from DN News Liberia. This report was made 6 hours ago. So I'm just going to read this and we'll talk about it a bit. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot to say about it,
Okay.
especially given the fact that we have talked about mysterious deaths in Liberia. So this is just one of the many mysterious deaths, reported.
Mhm.
So mysterious death of commercial motorcyclist in Ganta raises concerns. A commercial motorcycle operator identified as Papi Dalo alias 5050, aged 45, was found dead, placed in a plastic bag and tied to a motorcycle in Ganta City near the LPMC bypass turning point. The Guinean national has spent decades in Liberia as a commercial motorcyclist. He was brought to Liberia by the current Vice President Jeremiah Cohn, initially working as a store boy.
Okay.
A 15-member coroner jury has been assembled to investigate the cause of death and determine whether foul play was involved. The body showed signs of physical bruises and scars. Reports suggest that his motorbike was taken and replaced with another motorbike, though some claim the old motorbike tied to him belonged to the deceased. This incident marked the fourth mysterious death affecting motorcyclists in Ganta. Just a month ago, a 25-year-old motorcyclist identified as Richard Gamigay was found dead on the crushed rocks in Ganta, and his bag was also taken.
Mhm.
Before that, two motorcyclists were shot to death and their bags were stolen. These incidents have raised concerns about the safety of commercial motorcyclists in Ganta City, Nema County. So basically, this is a report from DN News this morning. So Oliver, yeah.
So look, here's what I think we have to do in this country, and that's why. Look, when you used to see us frowning at people who would normally openly accuse the government or key individuals in the government of being responsible for these kinds of things. That's why some of us over the period we've been defending, not defending those accused, but we've been preaching a particular argument that it is immature in this kind of situations to outrightly draw a line of conclusion as to who you think is a possible, how you call this thing, perpetrator. The reason I'm saying it is because when you read the DN News publication that Alexa just read, there is a paragraph there where they said this guy who died, this 25-year-old motorcyclist whose body was discovered with bruises. When they say bruises, it means he had deep cuts in his body, the chap in places and so forth. This guy, according to DN News, we're quoting them, was brought to this country way back by the current vice president so that he can be working in VP Kuhn store in Nimba. You see the link? You see why it is important that when these things happen, people should not outrightly open their mouth and say, this person is responsible? Because there could be plenty of reasons behind the death of that young man. The report says his bike was allegedly taken from him and replaced with another bike. So apparently his original bike had some pieces of evidence that had the perpetrators, decided to leave the bike behind, it would have implicated them in subsequent investigations. So it is possible that they may have absconded with his original motorbike so as to erase whatever potential trait that the investigators may want to follow. That is one probability. The next thing is, this is not the first time, according to the report, that a motorcyclist is being killed in such a gruesome form and manner in Nimba County, specifically in Ganta. The current vice president is from Ganta. He's from Ganta. He's from Nimba. Ganta is his town because, that's where he was representing for almost 3 different terms. Now, my take is they should claim the attention of VP Kuhn precisely because that is where you are from. That is your home county. You are the vice president of the country. If criminals are not afraid, if ritualists or ritualistic killers are not afraid to do ritualistic killings or activities in Nimba County, the county belonging to the vice president, then Alexa, it shows that all the other counties are vulnerable. Because even when you have a criminal in a particular society, the criminal won't go steal, but the first thing is say that the poor get door there. That big man living in that yard, that man get gone. Before the petty criminals go and do stuff, they do an evaluation. Who county won't go do killing in? The VP county? No. They might catch us. There could be a lot of stuff in place. So it should claim the attention of the vice president. Why is it that we are having 4 individuals dying? How many?
4.
What's the time frame again?
Just a minute.
To have 4 individuals dying. Let's assume in a year's time. Let's just assume in a year's time, which is not the case.
A month ago, you had a 25-year-old motorcyclist.
A month ago.
He was found dead under crushed
So
rocks.
30 days after, another person.
And before that, you had 2
Before that, you had 2 more.
who were shot.
So in the past, we can technically say in the past 6 months, we have had 4 different deaths related to motorcyclists from a mysterious level in Nimba County. Our people should not die like that. Mysterious deaths made a good portion of the propaganda that brought the Unity Party government to power. There were too many cries about people dying mysteriously in this country, how the country was not safe. There were times where we saw Liberians who supported a different political institution, branding the government at the time as a government that was not doing anything substantial to safeguard the republic, to the point where they even went to America and started encouraging Liberians in America, discouraging though, discouraging Liberians in America and other places not to come home because in their minds the country was not safe. I mean, these are things that managed to have brought this administration to power because those were things that made the propaganda list. Now, what do we want to have in our country? What do we want to see happening at the moment? At this level, we will want this administration to be more concerned about the safety of the republic. This is now good news, especially coming from the county of the vice president, that in the last 6 months, you are having 4 different deaths, mysterious deaths. It doesn't look good. This is not politics. This one is no political. You check those who have died, those four gentlemen who died mysteriously. When you check them up, some of them are now politicians. Some of them voted for the CDC. Some of them voted for the Unity Party. When you check it up, some of them did not even vote for the two main parties in the country. So it is no political issue. The point is, whatever the case is in this country, the government is under constitutional obligation. The statutory responsibility of any government is to ensure that the lives and property of the republic, every single property and every single life within the bailiwick of the Republic of Liberia, is accounted for. It doesn't say anything good about the image of this country. The last time I read and I checked, Alexa, before I submit on this issue so that you come up and we move to other issues. The last time I checked, the current administration is running a government policy called the Arrest Agenda. In the Arrest Agenda, one of the arrows there, so forget about the arrows. The T in the Arrest Agenda talks about tourism. Tourism will require people to visit the country from all across the world. For tourism to boom, it will need people to visit the country frequently. Beyond visiting the country from outside, it will also need people to internally do visitation. If I leave from Monrovia and I go to Cape Mount, for example, Austin Kawas, terrain, and I go to the Lepiso, they got some kind of place that they call, I don't know. I don't want to do free advertisement, for somebody business, because we need those advertisements to come here to support the entity. But imagine I go to one of the recreational facilities in Cape Mount. Whatever I spend there, a portion of it will be invested in Grand Cape Mount County. When I go there, I will take pictures. Those pictures, when I post them on Facebook and say, this is the waterfall in Cape Mount, this is the this resort in Cape Mount, this is how the beaches in Cape Mount look, people will see it, and the next thing somebody want to say, oh, the place will get going, took the fan pictures, I want to go there. When I go there, when that person decide to go there, they will purchase materials, they will buy food, they will buy other things. These are things that can promote internal revenue. These are things that can promote internal economy. So you would not have tourism as an attainable factor in your rescue agenda when people continue to have mysterious death on the lips of citizens all across the country. I was joking the last time, but it was very serious. One of the fundamental reasons why Lofa County could not initiate the celebration of their county meat trophy earlier on was because the sons and daughters of Lofa County, especially those in Vonjima, have been crying about 3 different mysterious deaths that they had. And those things happened within the space of 2 months. The citizens of Lofa were complaining that we cannot be mourning our people who are dying mysteriously. The other people die in the cell, in the police holding cell. We cannot be mourning our people who are dying mysteriously, and you can bring kind of trophy to say you want to celebrate it. That also, became a hindrance to the organizing committee of the Lofa County Sports Association, and so they had to delay a couple of other issues that we mentioned on yesterday. So just by that example, it tells you how mysterious death is a serious hindrance to any productivity that we may anticipate as a country in the area of tourism. Imagine somebody want to go to Ganta. All of us know Ganta to be a beautiful city that doesn't sleep. That's what we know Ganta for. The only city in this country that doesn't sleep is Ganta. Yeah, I'm told there are other cities that are trying to copy after Ganta. But Ganta is noted for being the city that doesn't sleep. And everybody want to run to Ganta for weekend. All activities going to Ganta City are activities that people enjoy so much. But what do you think will happen If after every 1 month there is some mysterious death that is announced, there is some issue of mysterious death happening, body being discovered, part missing, bruises on the skin, in mysterious circumstances, those things will not help. And as these things continue to happen, the images continue to go outside of our country. So even if the Chinese want to come and visit the Oldest African Republic, he is concerned, if I go to visit that place, am I going to be safe? There is a tendency that citizens are found dead in Nima County on a daily basis. I want to go and visit the Nima Eco Lodge. I want to go and visit this other place. Am I going to be guaranteed of my safety? Am I going to be, assured of my protection? And that's why we want the vice president. This is your county. Normally, how you call this thing? By statute, the Liberian National Police should be in charge of it. Colonel Greg Como, you should be in charge of the investigation. But beyond that, we need some political will, to do something. So the VP will have to be concerned, especially that this latest one, according to the report, is somebody who they say he went to Guinea, brought to the country, was selling for him in a store. The report did not say what happened after the selling for him in the store, whether he was still selling in the store or he left the store to ride motorbike. We do not know what's happening. But DN News only reported how he went for the guy before and brought him into Liberia. Now, with these things aligning to you, the vice president, it should claim your attention. It should encourage you to do more in ensuring that the security of the state will be prioritized. Everything can be politics. Everything can be politics. So why you people do politics, why the politicians do politics, it is important that you keep the country stable, because in the absence of safety, in the absence of guaranteeing safety for the citizens who are here and those who want to come here to do business, once you do not have a mechanism in place to guarantee that they will be safe, trust me, you will spare their billions of dollars in foreign countries. You will go to meetings with them in foreign countries. They will show you the billion in their suitcases. They say, like, yeah, we won't go invest, but they will not come because they don't want to jeopardize their safety. Please, it is no politics, and that's why I thought to mention as my contribution on this topic, Alessa, before we can move to other discussions.
Okay, so whenever it comes to death, it should be apolitical, because someone has lost their life, and the family will be definitely mourning, will be grieving. So it is really, really not a good thing to politicize death. But in a society such as ours, it is hard to discuss certain, instances of death, Oliver, without it being political. And the reason is very simple. We're now discussing mysterious deaths in Liberia. Now we're focused on Nema County, basically what happened earlier this morning. And based on the report from DN News, Liberia Online, they gave a little backstory of how many motorcyclists have died mysteriously, over the last maybe 2 months or over the last month. And based on how the report was done, I wouldn't be surprised, as well as I wouldn't be angry when a number of Liberians would try to attribute these death stories to maybe the current vice president or maybe the government of the day. And the reason I'm saying this is very simple, because this government, the Unity Party government, the government of the day, campaigned. And I remember 2 years ago on social media, Facebook, especially Facebook, we had different graphic designs, Oliver, of mysterious deaths in Liberia. And those things were designed in a way where you will have President George Weah at the time. His picture will be maybe upward, and then you will have different mysterious death stories downward, and you will have an arrow strictly pointing to former President George Weah, that he is responsible for mysterious deaths in Liberia. That was done like almost on a daily basis in Liberia on social media. Every morning, if you woke up and you went to Facebook, you will see this person has died mysteriously. and it is based on President George Weah, or it is based on this government,
And
CDC.
my man James Flomo in Poland always used to be the
Yes,
first person
my brother James.
on the
He
scene.
was always updating the public on mysterious deaths in Liberia, even if those deaths were not mysteriously, as they should have been.
As soon as you wake up in the morning, you
It is
see
mysterious
see
death.
James Goode Flomo.
And at the end of the day, they found another word, ritualistic. Ritualistic was it? Oh, ritualistic killings are ongoing in Liberia, and it is not a safe thing. The government should do what they can at this point. But again, how would the government work when the government officials are responsible? All those things were done. So today, if you see Liberians, saying maybe the vice president allegedly is tied to what has happened in Nema County, do not be surprised. In as much as I wouldn't support, someone just attributing or dev news on not just being vice president, but on another individual without, substantial evidence, you still cannot erase that. So I just thought it wise to put it out there. But for me, I would like to know if the previous 3 death news or deaths of motorcyclists, were those cases investigated, or are they being investigated? Because a 25-year-old motorcyclist, is reportedly dead, or was reported dead at the time, found dead under crushed rocks in the same space. That was a month ago.
Good.
And you had 2 other motorcyclists who were shot dead as well. So are these cases being investigated? Because, Oliver, there should be a pace that's already set before we can call for another investigation in the case that happened earlier today. Because if the cases that happened before are not being investigated, then I'm not sure we're going anywhere. We're just going to run in circles again today. We're going to send out, sympathies or condolences to bereaved family members. And after that, we're done until another one can happen again. So are we going to wait for, a reoccurrence of something like that before, we start to talk about it? Or we start to be like, the government of Liberia should investigate? A government that actually came to power based on a line of mysterious killing in Liberia or ritualistic killing in Liberia. I think one of the first things they should have done, or they should start doing if they have not started doing that, is to make sure any mysterious death in Liberia should be investigated to the core. And when you get to the bottom of that, make sure people who are responsible will be able to serve their time if they're guilty. Because that was one of the things you talked about.
Good.
Mysterious killings in Liberia, ritualistic killings in Liberia. It is not supposed to be like this. The society is not safe. So now, is the society safe? I'm not really sure it is. Because imagine we just got up this morning, and just imagining what happened. The story was what was reported, but if you're going to put that in your mind graphically, right? A person was allegedly murdered, found on a bike, and allegedly by maybe people who stole his bike. So the whole story is like, I don't understand it. It is really, really confusing at this point. So I don't know if they've already started investigation on, what happened this morning. If they've started, is it just for this morning and it is going to end this week? Because usually, Oliver, we're always elevating our voices on some of these things that are happening.
Good.
But we're going to talk about it just a week, and after that, we're done. So, Mr. Vice President, that's your county. That's number one. Ganta is basically one of the places people go on a daily basis from Monrovia, from almost all over Liberia. People go there because of how, industrious it is, and how people want to enjoy just the environment there in Ganta. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, please make sure that this is done in a way that will have an end. We'll have a report to the public later on that, of course, that was investigated, or the 4 cases of motorcyclists being dead mysteriously have been investigated. And here is the report. Here, are the different pieces put together that we found perpetrators. We want to know, Because Oliver, we've maybe just the ones that are reported, there are 4.
Mhm.
So what happens to the ones that are not reported?
That's right.
You can never tell.
Good.
So we want to know more about what's happening. And you came to power. That was one of the major things you talked about. So I think that should also be focused on, and you should kick out people who are, killing people mysteriously or ritualistically, because we are not supposed to even be hearing about it, Oliver.
Mhm.
We're not supposed to be hearing about it, like the issue of drugs in Liberia. We're not supposed to be hearing about these things, that maybe we have drugs in Liberia now, or we have new drugs coming to Liberia. You should be talking about how you can work on making sure we do not have any news or any reported stories of mysterious and ritualistic killings in Liberia, because you said no, that was not really necessary. It will make our country unsafe and people will be afraid to come to Liberia. I remember people would write a whole different different articles on a daily basis. Hey, do not come to Liberia. Liberia is unsafe now. People are dying mysteriously. And people are still dying mysteriously now. So what you can do about this now as a government, through the Ministry of Justice or the Liberia National Police, launch an investigation, investigate previous 3 cases of motorcyclists who died mysteriously before this one that happened this morning. So you have 4 cases now to actually look into thoroughly and get back to us. I mean, investigate. We know it doesn't take a day. It doesn't take 3 weeks. Sometimes it takes, a whole year or 2-3 years. But we want to know what happened, or want to know what is happening. That's just Nema County. And we have seen a lot in Monserrado, in Monrovia as well. But do what you can to get rid of what's happening, because it is not supposed to be happening. You have what it takes to prevent mysterious killings.
Good.
You have what it takes to get rid of ritualistic killings in Liberia. For us, we're not really naive to say, oh, la chu, that the president killing the people, or la chu, that the other minister killing the people. No, because we have sense.
We do not have evidence towards it.
The fact that we do not have any evidence, we wouldn't say that.
Mhm.
So all we're saying to you, please, as a government, do what you can to investigate. And when you investigate, get back to us. You don't have to tell us the details of the investigation. No, that's on you. But just update the public. And when you are done, make sure you tell us who are the perpetrators and what are they going to do.
Mhm.
Seriously, that's what we want. So all the people that are saying, oh, la person care, I mean, you can say that because this will not be the first time. We have people who are in this government today. A lot of them said, the person that died on the other side, that Joe we are that person, that the other person killed. They said that like they were even there. No allegedly, no reportedly, or it is unconfirmed.
Good,
No,
good.
like they were really clear about it. But for us, we're different people, so we're not going to be in the same boat. Please investigate, because people are going to lose their lives. And imagine, Oliver, motorcyclists. They are one of the bravest, group of people I know. 100%.
Very useful to the society.
Very useful. And now
They should not be victims of
a lot of them will be
mysterious
scared.
Stuff. Yeah.
Because if you have seen, 4 of your colleagues dead, and then nothing is done, no investigation, you'll be scared. Maybe at a certain point in time, you wouldn't want to carry certain people. So that means they will not be making the money they are supposed to make because they're scared. So that is also their means to survive. So please, Mr. Vice President, if you can use your influence to do what you can in making sure investigation is speedily and is done, that would really be okay for all of us, because this is a society where we want to be safe. And you have a space in Nema County as well, where a lot of people go to, Oliver. We don't want to mention that the space name. My boss may say we need money, and I want to shoot. But you have a place in Nimba where people go almost every weekend, right? And now you're having this news again out there that motorcyclists are dying mysteriously in Ganta, Nema County. So what exactly would tourists say? Because you have a lot of people leaving different parts of the world to go there just to see. So what exactly would they say? How would they feel if they're getting all these different unfortunate news stories? I mean, it doesn't make sense at this point. So please do what you can to prevent this. We want to be safe in Liberia, and I'm sure the people of Nema County want to be safe. And all it takes is to have a serious investigation, to have people there to monitor what's happening, how are the things happening, in order to have that not to happen again. So please do what you can.
Okay, please do what you can, and that is exactly where we're gonna end it. Yes, during the course of the call-in segment, will allow you to make your input on the mysterious death situation in Nimba County. So let's go to something else, Alexa. Yesterday we started our conversation.
Stand.
Stan is trying to organize a protest in the country. On today, the Student Unification Party, I partly listened to part of their press conference that was held. They are pledging to join any group of Liberians who will be calling on the Joe Parker's administration to do the right thing. Recently, Stan and several other non-political, non-governmental institutions have announced that by this week they will be announcing their plan to stage a nationwide non-stop protest. According to them, it's going to be non-stop. There are several reasons why, in their opinion, such protest is necessary. Although they have not mentioned the date of the protest, they are yet to tell us the style of the protest and the full petition. I mean, the contents in the petition statement. We don't know what are the key issues in terms of the orderly arrangement. But what we know from the surface is that there are bread and butter issues confronting the livelihood of the Liberian people that will be included on their petition statement. Howbeit, let's say this to our people and let it be very clear. Protests and actions relative to people protesting are not bad for any economy or any country. No. The intent for protest and the manner in which protests will be done are the things that should concern us in the country. So whether people protest or not should not concern us. What should concern us is why they are protesting. Because if you do not address why they are protesting, you may succeed in removing them from the street on today. But in as much as what may have triggered their decision to assemble, in as much as that issue or those issues are not settled, once they are not addressed, whoever they may be, they will still be tempted to want to come back to protest. And that's why the folks say protest is a way of making somebody to do what they know they're supposed to do, but for some reasons they choose not to do it. It is another compel compliance method to ensure that somebody will do exactly what they are supposed to do. These marketeers, these pimping boys, these ordinary Liberian people, these dismissed civil servants, these illegally removed, government employees have reasons for which they are angry. And if I had the chance to sit in a position to advise the current administration, I will first of all tell the president that, Mr. President, with all due respect, it was not important to have had your government get involved with all of these side attractions. These are distractions that will slow down the pace at which you had earlier on decided to move this country. Because unless some of the things are not necessary. One of the reasons why people are going to be protesting, we are told some of the supplementary workers at the Capitol building and other people who believe that Speaker Kofa has been unjustly treated by the administration, we are told they will be appearing in the protest. Their involvement in that protest, Alexa, could have been avoided. This government would have prevented workers from Capitol Hill and those close to Funanti Kofa and those wanting to preserve the rule of law. They would have avoided these people coming on the street to protest in the date to be announced had Mr. President played the leadership role to call on our people in the legislature, our people in the executive, those who go to him to say, let's move Funanti. Had he played that leadership role, I'm not too sure these people will want to join whatever protest because they will not have a particular reason that will link them to the protest. It was not necessary at all, especially when it was not done properly. We are tired mentioning the procedures. The particular proceedings that should be followed, the entire procedure, we are tired explaining it. The one that talks about 49 votes being registered for the 9 person expressing their view. They got to go to the speaker. All that thing will tie away. The latest individual to have joined the show is aware of that entire pattern. Once it was not followed, the executive had no right whatsoever to start doing business with a group that is yet to have her legitimacy in accordance with the constitution of our country and other laws stipulated by those that came before us. The rules that is governing the House of Representatives, that particular book was put together by lawmakers who were there before. Some of them are dead. Some of them are no longer in the Capitol building as lawmakers. These were the framers. They knew a day like they will come. That's why they did some prescription. That's why they prescribed in their rules as to how we can remove our speaker. In as much as you do not follow it that way, you are outside of the constitutional order. You are outside of due process, and your actions will be deemed and considered illegitimate. Hence, the possibility of angering a lot of people and infringing on their God-given rights and their national constitutional rights, the possibility is very, very likely. And that's why you'll find people going out to protest. Could that have been avoided? Oh, yes. Tell T5 then, until you can get your 49, I'm not going to do business with you until you can get your 49 and do what is required and have Funanti removed legitimately. I'm not going to send anybody to do budget. If it will mean the government will have to pause for some time, let it happen. But let the law be the law. Because we are all living here because of the law. We can today walk in the street of Monrovia because of the law. Nobody can tell me, say, I'm a grown man, so I can't enter Monrovia because of the law. The law says every Liberian has the right to move to any part of Liberia, reside there, therein, thereof, in as much as they will not infringe on the rights of others. So I can go to Lopa County and say, I want to live there. The people in Lopa can tell me, say, you can live here because you're a grown man. You know why? Because there is a law. A country where the law is placed behind, the law is being placed on the side, that country doesn't have a future. Because it is only on a time bomb to explode. And when it explodes, automatically there is going to be some form of disunity, instability. And that's why when they will come out to protest, to ask the government to be law-abiding and ensure that the rule of law be upheld, for me, they will have a genuine concern to come out to protest. The next batch of people I know will be coming out to protest on that day to join STEM and other civil society actors. Alexa, are the motorcyclists. These people registered their bikes. They insured their motorbikes. They paid other taxes, including their driver's licenses, with the notion that they will have the opportunity to fly around the country with prescribed dress code and, particular passenger capacity, that you not take more than one passenger and so forth. Every passenger will have their helmet and this and that. they've been living in accordance with that. They've been living in accordance with that particular, a measure in place. Now, with their shoes, their helmets, their how you call this in their passengers, also attire with the protective gear. All of a sudden, a policeman sat down right there, down Slipway, stops a motorcyclist in the middle of the road and started asking for a particulars, like the Nigerians are called it, his papers. He saw a truck that already failed while claiming the Gabriel Tucker Johnson Hill. Claiming the Johnson Street Hill. The truck is reversing, already loose gear, reversing. He did not tell the motorcyclist, say, my man, move, truck coming. The officer left the motorcyclist in the middle of the road and ran for his life. And before the other motorcyclists could tell the guy, say, my man, truck coming, before you could even decide to say you want to start his bike, the truck had already gotten over him and tragically killed him. On that spot, psychologically, regardless of whether these motorcyclists are rude or whatever the case, psychologically, people will get angry and you cannot control how they will respond at that particular level. But does that in any way suggest that all of them in the country, including those who were not present, does that in any way suggest that their action should be enough to prevent the rest of the other people? I said no. That's why you have law enforcement in place. That's why you have the police all over the place. That's why you have the CRD. That's why you have, the police intelligence. You can do what you want to do at that level. You can identify the violators. You can identify the perpetrators. Look, if a motorcyclist see the police arresting and jailing a particular motorcyclist who has violated some public ordinance and safety, the next motorcyclist will say, my man, Papi went to jail because of the thing. If I try it, I will go to jail. I will not hustle. So even if there is a mob violence situation, he or she will come to himself. There are ways to solve problems. And the guys are only saying, please allow us to fly on the street because we pay for it. Some of us, we took our bikes based on arrangements that will be able to commit certain portion of money as a daily, how you call it, report fees based on the area of operation we had, that we would come to town, bring AME university students to town, Stella Marie, UMU, capital building workers, LMP workers, judiciary workers, based on all of those things, they thought to agree on some things. Today, some of the motorcyclists are paying debt. Today, some of the bike owners have terminated the work and pay contract with the motorcyclists. Some of the motorcyclists today are paying for motorcycles because their bikes were seized by the authorities. Now, in the midst of all of these things, Alexa, you do not want to continue having these things on. They will come out to petition you. Do they have the right? Of course, they have the right to come out to petition you. Our marketeers, these people were promised that the economy will favor them. They were promised during the campaign that the economy of our country will favor them to the letter. That's what they were promised. Yes, that's exactly what they were promised. Today, the business is not okay for them. In addition to business not being okay, they are being chased. The places they used to sell, they're being chased from those places. And several other things happening to them. Liberians were on the job. They were being dismissed, illegally removed by the administration. Is that what's supposed to be the case? Even if there are any reasons why you want to have them removed, but there are records to show that those who were removed from how you call this particular list that they normally have, man. Come on, this list, supplementary payroll. Those who are removed from the supplementary payroll, there are records to show that after removing them from the supplementary payroll, you replace them with other Liberians on the supplementary payroll, which is a serious contradiction to the Constitution. That people should not be appointed on political party line. So if XYZ is going to be dismissed from the Ministry of Transport because you think he got appointed at the ministry under George Weah or under Ellen, and since we are in Ellen president anymore, so they do not have the legitimacy to hold their job, and you remove them and find supplementary payroll as the excuse for having them removed, good. But don't replace them with people of your kind, people from your political lineage, on the same supplementary payroll that you said you came to abolish. When that happens, it means you are employing on the basis of favoritism, which is totally against the Constitution of the country. So you may argue that the guys who want to protest may not have sufficient reasons to protest, and that's why we try to get Malu and the rest of the folks on this radio to explain beyond what we know, to explain additional reasons why they want to come out to protest. Perhaps we could ask some technical questions, and they will be able to provide reasons as to why they think they want to protest. But on the surface, Liberians are not cool. Liberians are not happy. As I will submit to Alexa, so that she come in, we'll go to the lines. Mr. President, it is about time you go to the house. Tell Sylvester Graceby to go to your house. I mean, one day when they drive you from the mansion and you go to your house in rehab, tell all of them, say, Kula, you my little girl, I like how you can do my report, but please go home. Honorable Sylvester Graceby, my Minister of State, but please go home, sir. It's about tell Mamaka Belete, I know you don't want to bring the whole yellow machine to our country. You won't bring the machine and you won't all get 285 machine, but please go home. It is about time, Papa, you sit in your closet. I'm told the Oma is not feeling well, but we pray that she gets better. When the Oma is around, call Mom Katumo and say, Mom, we were here 2-3 years ago, not as the president and first lady of this country. There are cries outside there from the Liberian people. Am I proceeding rightly? Ask the Oma, let the Oma tell you. Call your children if they truly mean well for you as their father. Call them and ask them. Do a family evaluation of your policy. Do a family evaluation of how you're running the country. Call some of your brothers and sisters from Lopa County. They are your family members. They will care more about your character, the image, and the name of the county, the name of the family. They will care more. And let's ask some of the people who people bring around them when they get a job. Sometimes they just do not care about, the safety, the protection of the legacy of that individual giving them the job. They won't care about what they can get around the person. Whatever damage that is done to the person's name, they just do not care. So sometimes when you are in the midst of too many people who are professionally situated, quote unquote political appointment, leave them and go to your family and say, hey, let me ask you. You are Jonathan Bwaka. You are Adolphus Bwaka. You are Marilyn Bwaka. Alexa Bwaka. You guys are my nephew, my nieces, my cousins and uncles, my brothers and sisters. Am I running the country correctly? Look, in that family meeting, Mr. President, some of them will look you in the face and say, Papa, you are not doing it correctly. Papa, when we were campaigning, you told the people that you could not ride private jet when you become president. You said, former President Weah, who living right across us here, to a house, to the place in this rehab, used to ride private jet. But Papa, we ourselves can be shamed as family members when we see you riding private jet because that's not what you told the Liberian people. Because of that, some people can be putting more on you on the radio. People can be telling you how you lied to them. For me, we think it's not supposed to be change. Your family may tell you what others will refuse to tell you. Although there is an adage that says friends can do for you what your family can do, which is also authentic. But in the reverse, situation, your family will be bold enough to tell you some things that friends may not want to say. Because your brother know when he tell you, say, Papa, you're not operating correctly. You will get fed when you talk. At the end of the day, family meeting, when one family member die, all of you will go and sit down and do it. But if you're the president, you say, they're my minister of state, I'm sacking him, I don't want to see him anymore. He doesn't have any right to come to you because you guys ain't related. You ain't got nothing that will bind you together anymore. So the bravery your family can muster to advise you, the others will not be able to do it. So sometimes, Papa, go home and sit down and ask yourself, is this the Joe Bwaka that people voted for? Is this the Joseph Human Bwaka that Liberians rejected George Weah for? Am I doing the things for which they rejected President Weah? Is the country now free of drugs? To what extent have I, shifted the debate in the drug sector? Why is my county, Lover County, having drugs being arrested on a weekly basis? Every week, 2-3 trucks will be arrested, 2-3 pickups from Lover County. Am I making progress in the drug situation? I criticize the salary harmonization. Have I returned the people's salary that I criticized under President Weah? I mentioned the issue of private jet, that it was not good to ride private jet. Am I doing it rightly? These are things that may encourage people to come outside to protest. I know you will send government officials to receive whatever petition they have, but beyond protest, as the leader, you need to have a sober reflection. Go home. Go to your closet. Sit and relax. Like I said, Alexa, tell them to go home. Mameka, please go home. You will come out of work tomorrow, but please go home. Because our people have a tendency that when you are the leader, by the time job is over, they carry you to... They got their family homes. They got you middle. That your business? The president, you want to want? The president, can we face you tea? Can we do the one? You are not the president domestic staff. There are people assigned to the president who's going to do those things. But leaders will remain around to convince the president, bring all type of unnecessary lectures. If the president falls asleep, he go to sleep, then they go home. Yeah. Thank God nobody bring out a report tomorrow again. We'll go back on here again some money. Sometimes the president, you need to release yourself of all of these distractions. If the problem is not you, I'm repeating, if the problem is not you, you will know. If you tell them to go home for some time, if the problem is not you yourself, President Bouaka, you will know who the problem is. You will know who leading you to do some of these things. The country should not be under too much tension. We are small as a people. We're very small. Amos Tua is from River G County. A good portion of his brothers are people from River G County. Both of them are CDC people. Both of them are CDC people. Jangako is from Lover County. A good portion of his relatives are from Lover County. Both of them are United Party people. That's how connected this country is. And that's the reason why, as the president of the country, you don't have to encourage anything that will create tension, anything that will create animosity, anything that could derail the unity and bond amongst Liberians. Mr. President, when you decided to support a coup by some lawmakers who are not in their constitutional numbers against a sitting speaker, that was giving rise to supporting division. Did you do that on your own? I don't know. Did some of your cabinet ministers lure you into it? Did they force you into doing it? If so, when you have a sober reflection home, when you go home and sit down by yourself and look in the mirror and have a reflection, you will know that I was fooled by KOK. I was fooled by Minister Alexa. That's why I went to support the removal of KOFA. But now that I have realized, now that I have had a sober reflection in the mirror, I think this is wrong. I think I do not have to get myself involved into these petty things that can divide the country. And maybe you will call Kun and tell Kun, say, Kun, you know, you don't speak up. Greg, tell the security on behind Kun. We can keep the country noisy. KOFA, I'm sorry. I didn't know before. Continue with your stuff. Perhaps you could call and say, look, Sally Tyler, why did you have to remove 207 people from the Ministry of Transport payroll when you know that these guys have been working there, even when you were a deputy minister at the end of the day? Why do you have to do so? Perhaps you'll be able to realize that those who are pushing you to say, Babe, let's sack them because they did not come under our reign. You could be saving a lot of lives. Maybe some of this tension will reduce. Perhaps when you have a sober reflection, you could realize that it was not your idea to go and remove 10 position holders from their job. If it was not your decision, if it was not your personal decision to abuse all of the 10 positions in this country, when you choose to have a sober reflection, you will realize that maybe Minister Austin Kawa, who told you, say, Pape, we can suspend Emma, and while she on suspension, we can put somebody in her role. Pape, we can suspend all the LTA people, and while they're on suspension, we can put people in their role. Pape, we can suspend the other. If it is not your decision, mind you, I'm not going to put this thing on the ministers alone. I'm going to say if it is not your decision, because there is a possibility that you are the one instituting it. Yeah, we got to be fair to the conversation. It is possible that some of these violations, you are the progenitor. But in the event where you are not the progenitor of these violations, then it is upon you to have that sober reflection because the people voted for you. And I hope you know the partisans who are listening will find the logic in what we are saying. They voted for you. They did not vote for Mameka Belete. They didn't vote for Sylvester Grisby. They didn't vote for Kofi Woods and the rest of the people. They voted for you. You are the one who they made their president. If it gets worse, you will be blamed. You will feel the pinch. Oh, yes. Every bad thing on a Taylor, left on Taylor. Every bad thing on a Doe, left on Doe. Tobert, Totman, George Weah. Today, you are the president. Don't think that any bad thing happening in this country will leave on Colina Cry. No. A few people will say, oh, okay, Colina used to do it, but the bulk of the blame will be on you, Mr. President. So if you are not the progenitor of all of these lawlessness in the country, if you are not the progenitor of all of these things that are against the interest of the country, then please solve the problem and solve it now. Elisa, that's my take.
Okay. So whenever you have protests or whenever you have organizers to organize, a protest, I think there's a call for everyone to get on board, especially if it is from the angle of, a civil society organization. It is basically about everyone. So you have this public call for everyone to get on board, for all hands to be on deck in order to have a successful protest. So for a protest to succeed 100%, it needs everyone on board if it is a people's driven protest. In order to succeed, you need everyone on board. And I think yesterday we talked about just the initial announcement from Stand, and there were a couple of things jotted down in that communication. They talked about lawlessness in the country. They talked about a lot of things that have happened over the period, but the date is yet to be announced. That's number one thing we talked about yesterday. And as Oliver said, we're going to try our best to get Moba Molu here or some of the organizers of the protest forthcoming. But there are a couple of different issues that sometimes, will contribute to people wanting to organize protest actions in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong? No, it is never wrong. All parts of the world, people protest, citizens protest whenever they feel like, things are not going well in the country, they protest. So this is something that happens every now and then. In Liberia, of course, our constitution, gives right to citizens or every citizen to protest. It gives, the right to a group of people to protest. That's how you express yourselves. That's how you go about maybe giving out exactly what you feel deep within. So there are different actions that will contribute to a group of people protesting. I think what we have witnessed as a country, if you are in Liberia, even if you are out of Liberia, there are things that we have witnessed. And just before we announced, or we read the announcement from Stan yesterday, I think 2 weeks ago, we talked about a protest action by students of MC SS, right? Mm-hmm. And that was done in Monrovia. We saw exactly what happened. Students protested, for their teachers because they never had teachers in their classrooms based on the fact that a promise was made and the promise was not fulfilled by the president of Liberia. I don't know how far they've come with that, but that was basically one of the many reasons why we saw students in the street. We also saw motorcyclists in Monrovia. They protested peacefully, they marched, and they had an organized thought. They had a petition, and that was done. And after that, of course, some of them still, addressed the public about what was the major reason as to why they had to protest and what exactly is their future plan. So Now that we're here, Oliver talked about all of the different issues happening in countries, some of the reasons why people want to protest. So whenever you have a protest action, you have different groups of people involved. For example, you have Liberians who do not even care about politics, but then a lot of them, maybe they're hungry, and the country is not providing, or the government is not really providing an enabling environment for them to be able to survive, for them to be able to work, to earn money in order to eat. You have people who are business people who are in maybe different marketplaces. They're selling, yet they're not getting what they're supposed to get based on maybe what the president said, that you wouldn't have people to just go under the sun, sell, and don't have enough money to get rice. That could also be another triggered action for people to protest. You have students, whether university students, whether high schoolers, you will have a lot of them. You also have civil servants or people who have been laid off by this government. So you will have a lot of people there. And I stressed yesterday that one of the things when it comes to protecting the constitution of Liberia, that is everybody's business. It is not a one person's thing. No, it is not just about Oliver. It is not just about Alexa. It is not just about motorcyclists. It is not about just one group of people. No, it is about everyone in this country. Whenever you talk about the constitution, and that's one of the things that was actually mentioned in what we read yesterday from Stan, because they talk about how lawless the country is, and when a country is lawless, it tells you that the constitution is yet to be respected. It tells you that the rule of law is not upheld. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people out there. And you said something about the president. If you have a leader who has listening ears, a president who has listening ears, there are things that will be prevented. There are a couple of different things that we have seen so far in Liberia. And I remember we vowed not to talk about Capitol Hill saga, but we're yet to fulfill that because it keeps coming back to us, even if we try so hard not to mention that. Capitol Hill saga is one of the major issues in Liberia that a lot of people have issues with. One would want to ask you about the separation of power, that you wouldn't have the president to intervene, but there are things that cannot be done publicly. If you have a leader whose ears are listening ears, definitely will be able to intervene, to have dialogue from behind the scenes to prevent a chaotic scene or a chaotic moment from happening in the country in governs. Did we see that? No, we did not see that, because that was something that could have been prevented from the onset, but it was not prevented. And there are people who still think that the president did not act as a leader should. Other people are still having, some dissatisfactions with what happened with the burning of the Capitol building, the statement made by the president, alleged corruption cases in Liberia. So the issues are many, 100%. There are also people who are still having issues with the president getting a car, for that amount, 400 and some more thousand. So people are going to come out more.
Oh yeah.
But again, you said something about a leader to be very careful not to be swayed by his surroundings,
especially when he is not the one.
Exactly. When you are not the progenitor
of all of the things happening.
All of the things happening.
Good.
Because sometimes your surrounding, it may be okay. Sometimes your surrounding, it is not okay. But as a leader, if you're intentional about all the bad things you want to do, even if people, within your surrounding tell you, hey, Mr. President, we should not do it this way, you will do what you want. So if you are not the progenitor, if you are not the initiator for a lot of these things that are happening, then Mr. President, you have to manage your surrounding. But I'm not one of the people who always be like, the people that run a president.
No.
I'm not one of the people who always say that, because I know as a leader, even if you're going to have almost everyone around you to talk to you, whenever you go to bed,
you should be independent.
Yeah, you will sit back and think independently, and you'll be like weighing on different options and different pieces of advice you've gotten from, your advisors or your surrounding, and then you would think to know what exactly you should do in the interest of the country. Because at the end of the day, above all else, Liberia is bigger. So anything that happens, it is always about country above everyone else. So I'm actually hoping for us to talk to Molu very soon enough. If
Mhm.
it is not this week, maybe next week, because
Mhm.
we want to know all of the details. We want to know when is the protest going to be, how are Liberians receiving this news, because Liberians have complained a lot. People now want protest. So I remember the last time I talked about our citizen action, because you need everybody.
Good.
You can't just wait for one group of people.
Mhm.
If you have a problem, the Constitution gives you the right to express that through protest. It gives you the right to, march from maybe one marketplace to another, or Capitol building, or the executive mansion, or wherever you want to go to present your petition. It gives you that right. So you don't need to wait for one group of people. But the fact that Stan has already announced or protest in the coming days or coming months or coming weeks, I think this is the moment for Liberians to rise to the occasion to talk about all of the different issues in the country peacefully,
Mhm.
because that's exactly what we want. The fact that everyone expresses differently, you can express yourself through or protest action. So we're looking forward to that day, and we're looking forward to actually having different conversations with some of the organizers, because it is really important. And I'm sure you will have people, because one of the things that we do not talk about often nowadays, Oliver, is the issue of sexual violence cases. And I remember we had Tatus. This is not playing the gender card, right?
Mhm.
Because that was also something that had a lot of protest actions in Liberia.
Good.
And people who are in this government today, some of them found, a lot of them were part of the different protest actions we had. March for Justice, March for this,
Mhm.
in solidarity with sexual violence victims or survivors. A lot of them called on the government through the Ministry of Gender. But we're yet to see that after a year, some months. I mean, I'm talking about men, I'm talking about women, not just women, men. Some of them, they're in this government. When they even launched social media, stuff, we have a lot of them there. But we're yet to see that. So I'm sure people who are human rights defenders, people who are activists, advocates, I'm sure a lot of them will also join this protest, because the Ministry of Gender, I don't know if they've already launched a roadmap. They're yet to do that. So everyone will have a part, and everyone is concerned about certain issue. So everyone will be there differently, just to express themselves differently. So I'm sure we'll also have that. And the people in the market who are concerned about the economy, they're also going to talk about that. I remember we played a video from a lady who was asked about how business is, and she talked about she's someone who cooks cook board, and she's yet to get her money back because the food is still there.
Mhm.
So every part of the society will have people involved and people included. I'm saying this as a person who has formed part of different protest actions in this country, or formed part of or different moments where people have decided to protest. You would just make an announcement, and you would think that people are not following. But when the moment comes, you will have different people all over. You'll be really surprised. So I'm sure the fact that Liberians have been asking, a lot of them have been, talking about when we'll protest, nobody will organize protests. I'm very sure when the time comes, we'll see a lot of them. Our reporters will be here ready as always, to have this. But we want to talk to Molu in the coming days
Okay.
to talk about all of the details surrounding this.
Good. So as we'll be concluding on this particular conversation, let it be known that if that is to happen, the government should be the government. Please. These are Liberians who will want to protest. We will call on them to be peaceful. We'll call on them to ensure that the rights of other Liberians will be accorded. At the same time, we'll call on the police and the Liberian government. Forget the police. The police will take instruction based on what
Mhm. What the higher ups will tell
what the
them.
higher up will say. So the police is not bad. The police can be what they are when the higher up say they should do. I mean, these are yes people. They take instructions.
Based on the instruction
Yeah.
given,
So we'll call on the president and the rest of the folks. These are Liberians coming out. Encourage the police. The police are good force. And I'm not going to spot the name of the Liberian National Police people. The police we saw giving food and water on June 7th
they're still there.
under George Ria, they are not dead. No, it's people in there who say they're not that. They're still living. In fact, when they got more experience right now because it has been almost 4 years since that thing happened. So when they got new experience, so they are still there. They're still available. The same police that gave water, soft drink, and provided shield to our Muslim brothers and sisters who were praying on the protest ground, that same police force is still at LMP headquarters. All we need is for the government to be tolerant. Allow the people come outside to protest if they want to. When they come outside to protest, don't treat it like let them just come outside when they fly or go home. No.
You've protested.
These are
before,
things
right?
that can spoil country. When they come out to protest on X, Y, and Z, there should be people who will be technically positioned and situated who will be able to look at all of the counts in their protest action to say, these are things that the people say we want to do. Let's work around it. They said just too much. It just not going to be too much in the country the way we criticize it. It just can be coming from Lofa every weekend. Let's work towards continuing it. When you listen to the protesters and you work on what they are suggesting, the next time they're not going to come outside the protest. It means you are on track. It means you are proceeding rightly. It means the country is back to harmony. It means the country is back to unity. But trust me, until the government can realize that we can only make progress as a people and country if we are united, this country is far from making progress. Until that realization can be made. That's why we are asking our people, the president, to lead from the top. He has to initiate the conversation about reconciliation. The last time, the chief of office staff to the former president, Eugene Nangbe, he said from the day, President, we are called to concede. To say, Pape, congratulations, you won the election. Eugene has made us understand that the current president is yet to place a telephone call to the former president. It is not by law. There is no law that says the current president will call the former president for them to talk, for them to lecture, or him asking how he's doing. But common sense and moral principles, our traditional values will require that you do it. In the village, people say we sit on the old mat to apply the new one, regardless of how old, how ugly, how torn up that old mat is. But our traditional people may understand that we can sit on it. Look at the strides, look at how you're operating to face the new one. So just walk up from the blue sky and say you won't face your own mat like that. Sometimes you may have all of the knowledge, all of the ability, all of the strength, but some technical details you may not have. And that's why the people will advise us to sit on the old mat to do the new one. In that law say President Bagam will call President Weah or he will call President Salif.
Out of courtesy.
No, that's not law. But good. Out of courtesy, out of mutual respect, out of our traditional values. It has to happen. Look, do you know what it would take? The Unity Party got two different groups. There is a group loyal to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. There is a group loyal to Joe Bwaka. Unity Party people know what I'm saying is true. They're aware. Do you know how Unity partisans felt when President Sirleaf and President Bwaka sat under her Palava hut in Fish Market on her birthday? Do you know the joy that came amongst Unity partisans who saw themselves from the two sides of the divide in the party, internal wrangling? There was this issue of a Ellen version of the Unity Party and GMB version of the Unity Party. Just by those pictures and visitation, whether you like it or not, tension has de-escalated between them. I'm not saying it has eradicated, that they no longer got issue. Oh yes, they still got issue. The Ellen Johnson former Unity Party put in Asa Adi then, Joy Warner then, they put in by the lawyer to President Sirleaf, they dead. Mo Ali then, who coming on Austin Kawa show tonight, Baga Jaliba that the GMB, Joseph Valai then, that the GMB own the people that you can't take it from them. Women pay them, that the GMB people then, you can't take it. But at the end of the day, the fact that JMB and EJS having that conversation, that mutual, relationship at the moment, it is de-escalating the tension that existed between Women Pay Them and Asa Ade Then, Women Pay Them and Joy Warner Then. Even though the second small issue, but it is de-escalating it. What more about people from two political parties. The two of them were from the same political party, but their disagreement, their disunity was trickling down to the ordinary members. So think about President Baka taking a convoy. Or say, look, you know what? I'm the president, man. I ain't need no convoy. Security, y'all go sit down to the president. We are all in the corner there and see who there. Chain say I come and visit today. Y'all go there. President, we are open your house. Security will go there and check all in the yard. He said, my son, across. I'm using car today. I'm walking from my house to your house. I'm not using car today, my son. I'm walking from my house to your house. I'm passing in front of you go over house. Then I'll just jump and walk to your fence and enter your house. Do you know what it will signal? When President Weah is opening his door to welcome President Joe Baka in his living room, as was done in 2018, when President Weah and Clara Marie Weah went to visit the then former VP, Joe Baka. Do you know what it will? Seditionists who are not speaking to Unity partisans in their communities today. Unity partisans who still have personal grudges and issues for seditions in their communities today. Do you know what will happen if a latest photo is seen on social media or short video is released, and in that video, President Weah is shaking the hands of President Baka, they're lecturing and discussing, oh, sorry, this is how it is, apologies, but let's work together. That will de-escalate tension. Brothers who are not speaking to one another in this country because of politics, it will bring sense to them. They will understand that if George Weah and Joe Baka can sit down in the living room and drink water, Eugene Nangwe shake Sylvester Grisby hand, Fina Bono go hug Mamaka Belete. If that is happening, it shows that we in our neighborhood, our community, we should reconcile. If that happens, you're going to be having a reconciled Liberia, a united country. How you think will not develop? But you cannot continue to build tension. And that initiative should start from the current administration. Nobody saying you must go get Jawia money. Nobody say go get money. Nobody say you will provide cars like he did for you, or saying the hospital, although he's not sick. That's not what we are suggesting. What we are saying is out of courtesy. There are simple things you do that can de-escalate tension. Sometimes the people who we don't want to speak to, they won't speak to us. Sometimes it just takes one simple, how you call it in Alessa? Oh, good morning, oh. Just by you saying good morning, that person, the first thing will happen is that I will cut. Alessa speak to me today. Oh, Alessa, morning, oh. How you doing? I'm okay, oh. You're gone. The next time you come in, Alessa will be running and say, oh, okay, morning, oh. Yeah, I will say, oh, Alessa, how you doing? How you slept? Before you can say, I'll be to my hall, my chair will come and say, oh, Papi, and then Alessa to the pojo. She said she can't do you. I go come and say she bring my nance, no? The group will call it nance, no? If you don't know it, at your business. She'll bring my nance, no? And say, oh, okay, can I drink? Let's do our thing in the morning. And that's how reconciliation is channeled. Mr. President, I don't think you want the country to be this noisy.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Still here.
People listening to me right now in the vehicles, in the different taxis, in the bus. Unity partisans sitting right side seditions. By the time you notice that man at CDC, man, you got problem. You don't say the man at UP, man, you got problem. Everybody angry because of the election. It has to take the leaders to lead that effort. A President Weah was able to take a telephone and say, hey, Papi, you won. Congratulations. Let's work together. He went to the inauguration. You had a seizure. The Papi was there calling, telling him, I got it, man, Katumu Baka said, but when everything happened to the Papi, what I can do? He was showing all of the concern. He was concerned. When the inauguration, join President Salif. He hold your other hand, President Salif hold your other hand. They lifted your hands up. Two former president and you, that was a new president, you were in the middle.
And that was one of the beautiful photos.
He did that. For Eugene Nangwe to inform us that since that time he considered to inform us that you haven't taken a telephone call to call this man. It's the reason why the country is still noisy. You do not need to run the country that is noisy, Mr. President. You don't need it. You need a country where the people are going to feel united. That is leadership. Play the leadership role. Exhibit the tendency of a leader. When you do those things, you will not know how well. You don't need to set up Truth and Reconciliation Committee. You don't need to set up peace ambassador, a committee to get peace ambassador to do peace in the country. You don't need it. Look, Liberians are forgiving group of people. When they start to see you and George, you and your Peking operating hand in hand, having conversation, lecturing occasionally, the tension will reduce in the country. People who are not speaking to each other will start speaking to each other because they will see no need to continue fighting, to continue having better arguments. Members in churches not speaking to one another for this in politics business. You are the one who won. You are the one who got the power. You are the one who have the responsibility in this country to lead, to govern. You should initiate the process of reconciliation. That is what leadership entails. And that's what we are asking you to do, Mr. President. We don't hate you. These are things that your partisans may not want to say to you because they want you to continue to run the country on that divisive pedestal. But we're not going to do it because at the end of the day, you need a united country to foster any other agenda that you have. Anything outside of that, you could be running a divided country that could be on the brink of slipping into division. You don't want that country, sir.
But that's where Liberia is.
You don't want it.
So.
And that's why we are cautioning you. We are asking you, we are trying to advise you. To rethink. Go back. Go to your closet. Have a sober reflection and ask yourself, is this the country that I need? If the answer is yes, continue. But if it is no, then you got to recalibrate because the country is relying on your leadership. They spoke about it so much. They heralded your experience. They talk about how you got plenty of years of experience. Please use some of it. We don't want you to use it for the 2 years. Just use 10 years of experience. It will solve this problem. It will solve this problem. 5 years of experience is enough to tell you that Joe, we are opposite your horse. As a former president, will tell you that it's enough to walk to him one day and say, I'm the president, I'm the B-man, Nana. Your time finished. I mean the B-man. I come to you. Where you get? Put your thing outside. Where you get? Bring a glass. I call it. And let's do all your take picture, take video. And let's see in the country whether Liberian will still be doing flower and money sell. Pape, you got to initiate the thing. I know people will tell you it's not important. A leader man eat a show, let him leave. Let eat our show. Our time to eat our show. Good. But if you clinch onto that, it may impede the unity that this country so desperately needs to run things. And so let's come and go check for Crime Stoppers Liberia.
Yeah,
for all to go take our break and go to the lines.
While you're checking on that, Oliver, the issue of reconciliation and unity is something we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately after the elections, we were here talking about that, right? And we made it very clear that this is on the shoulders of Mr. Bouaka as Liberia's president. And one of the reasons we said that is because he is Liberia's leader.
Mm-hmm.
He won the presidency 100%. That means he is a president or the president of Liberia.
Good.
For all Liberians. When we had campaign and elections, of course, there were different parties involved. You had Unity Party members. You also have people who are not for any of the political parties we have yet. They still voted. We said that from the initial stage. And we're saying that because we didn't want to have a country that is divided, where you have blue, you have green, you have red, you have white. And after a year, some months, Oliver, we're still here. And I like the fact that we're very emotional in your appeal, to have a country that's together, because it is always one nation, indivisible. And the people who actually put that together, they were not drunk. They were really honestly thinking about Liberia's future. That, of course, in Liberia, you will have, different size. You will have people from diverse backgrounds. By the end of the day, you're all Liberians. One nation, indivisible. So if President Bouaka actually was concerned about Liberians being reconciled, I'm sure that would have been done a long time ago. Is it lit? I'm not going to say it is lit. Is it overdue? Yeah, I would say a bit overdue. But again, you don't tell people when to reach out and when not to reach out.
That's right.
But when it has to do with the country, I think you should listen to other people. It is not just us. There are other people who've called for that. There are ordinary Liberians who have called for that reconciliation. When you're reaching out to people, it is not because they are superior. No, it is because you're thinking about your country. When George Weah reached out to you years back, it was not because he's afraid of Joseph Yuma Boakai. No, he was looking at Liberia's future. And at the end of the day, there were different views, but people were still together. So it can still happen, but I don't know if it is going to happen anytime soon because people have called for that.
Okay.
And it is still on him. And I will tell you, whether you're going to believe this or not, Liberia is really divided. Like, it is really divided. And we still need to reconcile the country. But it is on the shoulders of Mr. Boakai, and he has to initiate that because he is Liberia's leader.
Okay, so we'll leave you and take this quick break. When we come back, we run to the lines to talk to you, the callers here on 87.9. My name is Kai. LSI is here. Let's take a break. So be right back.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Okay, Crime Stoppers, the people bringing safety to your land. Old Man Sam Cyan is the Chief Executive Officer of Crime Stoppers Liberia. Call us on 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 to be a part of the conversation. We have held two different conversations. The mysterious death in Gantanima County and the planned protest by Stand Liberia. We were able to preempt some of what we expect to be part of their petition statement if there is to be one. And cautioning the government to escalate tension in the country because it doesn't serve the purpose of anyone if the country remains divided. Join us and let's have your input on the conversation. My name is Kai. Again, like I said, Elisha is here. 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 are the numbers to join the conversation. The first person, go ahead, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Kelke.
How are you, sir? Go ahead.
Yeah, Kelke, there's a ball of Tabu Rasta joining you from Point 4 to be exact this hour in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, go ahead, my brother.
Kelke, I'm a little bit disappointed with you when it comes to the issue of the mysterious killing of the motorcyclists in Nima County.
Thank you.
When you say the government, you can't blame the government because you don't have evidence to that effect.
Okay.
I will blame the government because it is responsible. It is the government responsibility to provide every environment for its own citizens.
I agree.
Whenever the environment is not conducive, then we blame the government. And you are in this place, and this rescue government told us that with any flood that died, the president, we was the one who killed them. So today, coming to tell me that you're not blaming the government because you don't have evidence to kill them, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, but no. I said I cannot say that government killed a man. That's what I say. And so why you want me to say the man who died in Uganda that Joe Baka government killed a man? Why you want me to say, sir? Oh no, please. I can't be the one to say that. Trust me. I mean, if you have that as an evidence, you want to talk about it, you have the right on our laws to say so. But I cannot say. I don't know. I do not have the facts to sustain whatever you want me to say, sir. Thank you very much from Zimbabwe, my brother. Let's talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm okay.
What is your name, Chief?
My name is Derek Itoba and I do call from downtown.
Downtown. Go ahead, Toba. Let's hear you, boss man.
Yeah. So she said something that makes you to call. If you waiting or you want to see President Waka or former president taking together to have conversation, I don't think that will happen just now. Because all they're waiting for is to have the man in jail and the men in the summit or the less or our Umafinabono. But they want to see Johnson, the orange Johnson on there with the head on the head going to stop it. So if you're waiting for that type of movement, you won't find it there. Thank you, Phil.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. Let's leave you and talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? How you doing?
Okay.
Good evening, my dear brother.
And let me say, my name is Daniel Saki. And I joined the same for two women. KK is too late
Okay.
for reconciliation. We'll not put our president to that arrest. It is too late. Let me be fair to you. I go President Bogara know today in power is not a judge here. You know many men have lived on the knee. They came and we have kept for 4 years to go and take congratulation. There were men and women, ministers who were over 2 hours that said that night. Look at what you see, what you see, and what you box the food. 7 minutes, he heard the president going to congratulate you, Bogara. So today, they won't be lying. They also you worry. They show you worry to him and still not going to be said, "Dear God, for the man, God trust me." They trust me and make him a peace in the pocket. They tell him free. They pay to help. That's why he has the death in the pocket. The God men are willing to follow him to do any other thing.
Okay.
So today, whenever I get arrested, we'll say that when they want the show, but that's what it's going to now. Thank you for the done.
Thank you very much, Daniel Saki. We leave you right there. Liberians have to speak. Let's talk to Man Cece. Go ahead, ma'am. How are you?
Yeah, they get on the lava.
Go ahead. Mhm.
The series manager, how you doing? Okay. Sometimes I can want to put it on, but you far from me. Don't go messy.
That one, Allah.
You say what I say. Go me hearing it. I think they hear what I say.
I know.
No, you will not say on your platform, but our masses will say on your platform. Take it to the bank. Lester, your grandfather get on the turn now in this country. And Lester, your grandfather Boaka, you say man Boaka, get somebody in Limbakate.
We are investigating that. We are investigating that auditor issue from the LRA.
Okay. Leave that team, man. Leave that story. But we are in this country in your government. The preachers always say, get 3 auditors. The government was doing it. So they want to tell us when I said that Boaka auditor or get somebody in Limbakate, I will say no to that. They will all work on them. They put a die in this country that Boaka. Their government, they eat to kill. So don't tell us, yeah, don't say because you're a journalist. You got to pay a journalist, but we'll come on the show.
Was it President Weah who was killing the people when they were dying under his administration?
That's what I was saying.
No,
no,
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Under President Weah, those who were dying mysteriously. So you, in your own mind, was it President Weah who was killing them?
It was that President Weah was doing it. Whatever in power today now, they were saying, even the Boaka men, that people are dying, serious death in this country, on President Weah government.
Okay.
They were doing it.
So on the
they came in, they put it on Brownsy, and they said, but we are killing them. But we are seeing what else they put out, get rid of it. Now you will kill them. They take it out of proposal. And it was passing over the place. Protesting over the place. President that today, he said, come out. Never give us that. John Brown that, don't come out. Don't you all for the protest. Don't try and protest. You here in the protest. Okay? For Prince Johnson. So anybody that die, any fly die. If my daughter died, I walk out.
Because his supporters did the same thing to George Weah, and that's why you are doing it to him. Okay.
They were bad yesterday. They were saying that they were insulting your direction. You're doing. You're stopping. They want to come and come to go for Boaka government and say they're not doing that. That men are dying in Limbakate. That Boaka.
Okay.
They're hating fucking job. You mean Boaka and say that fucking job.
Okay.
So they want to expose there. They want to kill that person and they get to swear there. Those are dead. So that man will kill that auditor as RIA. God will not let them go free. They will confess. And let them to be out by anybody in the country. And you want to tell us what's like the Boaka? Because the Boaka was now winner. Not if you're looking for peace in this country for Boaka government, so Boaka it will not happen. The men are offer no peace. Okay. And look at one person in that snake mouth. Because it's not joking and open the one to swallow. That's the weird.
Okay.
That's government.
All right. So President Weah and President Boaka should not make peace.
They said they are 2029.
Okay, so they should remain away the looking. They should remain away the looking until 2029.
No, that that's not happen. That's not because to our end. So my son come here and say congratulations. As you have come my son and say my son can I let you. You see any job we are to get there now. And see what they do is you are all men, you are be somewhere and invest in young people. But they men get no ability, like big person ability inside. Nothing he get a bit. Who that flower for picture? Anywhere you go, Non, on l'a fait.
Thank you.
Il fait faux money, il fait la bloc, il fait la on fait oh, il va se moquer ni.
Thank you.
Il donne le type de compte. Il est même money, elle est là, il va se dire fois où il est also.
Thank you, Masisi. You have up to 4 minutes. Please, you are a veteran caller on this platform. That's why we kept you for that time. Let's talk to the other person. Go ahead, 1 minute.
Good evening, Georgie.
Good evening, my dear brother. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. My name is Rodelius A.S.D.O.G. and I'm coming from a Mongatown resident this evening.
Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, KOK has relating to mysterious death. You listen on clip. A statement, a body statement, a blanket statement that we was stating on it up. And if a statement is speaking in such a manner, then you must know what was unfolding. So apparently they had some facts, and that the data investigation that we was the one that did it, and that is why Prince Joseph said it. So as it unfolds now, that it has reciprocated for me in my mind. I have done my investigation that the only thought that died at Bagari won't say it. I'm saying
because the Baga people accused former President Weah of doing the killing. So you two you've done your 500 and you say that Joe Baga people doing the killing.
I've done my 500.
Okay.
I've kept on top of the information.
Okay.
So I'm free to say that Baga they want to kill the auditor.
All right.
I'm clear about that.
We leave you right there, my dear brother. Let's talk to the other person. I think allegations should be on the basis of thorough investigation. Anyway, but you have your right. This person, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, let me say congratulations, my brother.
Thank you very much.
We say hats off to the manager, the co-chair for the program, and we love that. And we know that Freedom FM will continue to be great. This is Epoca.
Go ahead, Edmund.
Are making this government unpopular every day because they have made themselves unpopular. No, this is why you are talking about reconciliation. All of you guys that we follow, you guys are calling on the government to initiate that.
Yeah.
Any other foreign partner that have visited this country, they said to Buaka after election, it's reconciliation. After reconciliation, you talk about development. But Buaka has refused to reconcile. In fact, the day President we have to come phone to call Buaka to tell him, say, no, you win a thing here, I will not wait for the last result. You know what he did? He did conference call with President Weah, who start on water spoon to make sure that President Weah be on record so that when he take back his word, they will say, oh, we're listening to it. So the topic has been the ministers have been getting it out of it. So you will not see anything about peace coming about.
Okay.
This is why when we hear about all of the death news, we will link it to them because of what they said in the past. They don't talk about the same orator yet. And your stories have been repeated. These people don't know what is happening to them. Orator die here, they say our government wanted to destroy everything. Here we are, our orator has died in their government. What do you expect us to see? They are the ones responsible because of the stealing, the rampant corruption that is going on in the government. They don't want for the truth to come up. That is the reason why they are getting rid of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. How about what is happening? That was the Dakar crowd that killing that took place in Lima. The man was killed and placed in plastic bag on the old motorball back near him, just a motorbike area. Moreover, is linked to the foreign travel and that was 12 hours in a time. That's what he was simple. At the time,
okay.
You say she did it because she wanted to protect.
Thank you. Thank you.
What they are doing for today, and we endorse the protest. It is necessary because if you don't protest,
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Edmund Carr, let's talk to this person. We talk to one more. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Hello, okay.
Hello, ma'am. You're the second to the last.
Yeah, how you doing? Hello. Okay, no mysterious death. I thought it was not going to happen there in Baka government. For a moment, so we just got to say that what Mantis said. And let me tell you, okay, don't be something to Baka to be speaking to Weah.
It is not about it is not about speaking to George Weah as the former president. It is about ensuring the country is reconciled. It will benefit all of us.
Of course, but what we do, you can't keep on talking it because you've been talking in my baby. Small child, you've been talking it, you've been fighting a big man, and you can't listen to it. So what the need? What is the need?
Okay.
That just how you want for the country to go. You don't want for people to be in this country. You're wicked man.
Okay.
You're very wicked man.
We leave you. Let's talk to the last caller. You are the last caller. Go ahead quickly. No time.
We live in KOK. My name is Soti Teller, and I call you for Ghana's to be pizza, Banave Johnson.
Go ahead, Soti.
First of all, my brother, I want to congratulate you on your achievement today as station manager of Freedom FM.
Thank you very much.
I want to congratulate you, my brother. Congratulations.
Thank you.
May Allah bless you. May Allah make you to prosper in the job.
I mean,
to the issue, you know, during the past administration, the people accused President Weah of killing all the auditors in the country.
Okay.
And then day by day, I used to be on the street and Joe Weah killing the person.
So it means,
getting me?
So it means now all the auditors that are dying, all the misuse death that Joe Baga they killing the person.
Yeah, that Joe that wasn't another Joe Baga, but that Jeremiah Kuhn.
Oh, okay.
Jeremiah Kuhn, the one that killed up, I got it, the day by day, the motorbike man was carrying. That day by day, they took some part on our day by day. So they parted the motorbike man was carrying that before they killed the motorbike man at Jeremiah Kuhn stole ball. And the intelligence gave it a man slow ball with a motorbike ball. So that one made a kill the motorbike because the one was made to destroy evidence.
Okay. We do not have the facts.
No, the fact will come.
Okay.
When they talking people, they don't get facts. They don't be having facts. Okay.
So you don't have
facts.
You don't have the.
We don't care about facts.
You don't have to be like them.
They said that validated the one that came Shala Musu. Today, Martina Kunate is coming out to apologize to validated. Yeah. Are you seeing that one?
I know.
You know, they put your lies around here. They put your lies. All kind of things about people. You getting me? Lie on coaching. They say that coaching the one that said validated. Validated what case from Maria. Yeah, Martina Kunate talking today. So this one, that didn't want to the ball.
Okay.
Give me the auditor that didn't want to kill the auditor.
We leave you right there. Thank you very much. Thank you, my dear brother Soti Teller. Alexa, you heard it. We got to go home. The guy said, in as much as United Party people used to accuse former President Weah of killing auditors and killing anybody, if any auditor dies today in this country, that United Party and President Baga didn't kill the people.
That's the same thing I said earlier on, right?
I mean, they have a logical argument, though.
Yes.
But I am not going to buy into it.
The folks said the same things, 2-3 years ago.
The current government benefited from those kind of propaganda.
So they wouldn't, we wouldn't actually hold them responsible for what they're saying.
No,
it is on them. And, what you're expressing is basically on them. But we're going to be back here on tomorrow, okay? So enjoy your time and stay safe. Please stay safe.
Okay, until then, my name is Kai. Unless I was here. The song is called Eat Your Show. It was done by King Dennis and DJ Summer.
DJ Summer featuring King Dennis.
Basi. Okay, so
Fazari.
So Alexa know the rest of the people, all of them. But this song is called Eat Your Show. So this is going to all of the Arsenal fans across the country. We're defeating Real Madrid today. So if you support Arsenal, let's go and celebrate tonight. We are defeating Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe will do all of you dirty tonight. Austin Kawhi and the rest of the Real Madrid people tonight, we are crunching on you people. So we're going to be dancing and zooming to this song as we'll be demolishing Real Madrid. Arsenal, oh yeah. Oh yeah.